We resolve our differences at the battle box.
Battle box!
No, that's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets.
At the battle box!
The power to change America should always rest in the hands of the people, not in the hands of a would-be assassin. You know, the path forward through the competing visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence.
Thank you for the 10 community gifted subs. Oh!
My fellow Americans.
Oh, he is on time. 3-minute ad break now. Twitch Primes are free.
Or the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're our fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back. Take stock of where we are.
It's not live, it's pre-recorded.
Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night.
Former
I'm
Trump?
grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero, sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was an American citizen while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. We've traveled it before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th.
It's not
pre-recorded.
pre-recorded.
On the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Or information and intimidation on election officials. Or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor. Or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized.
It is live. It's not pre-recorded.
The political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans believe it as well. And some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, a God forbid field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace. All of us now face a time of testing as the election approaches. And the higher the stakes, the more fervent the passions become. This places an added burden on each of us to ensure that no matter how strong our convictions, we must never descend into violence. The Republican convention will start tomorrow. I have no doubt they'll criticize my record and offer their own vision for this country.
It's a threat.
I'll be traveling this week making the case for our record and the vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution.
He's about to say, don't show up to work tomorrow.
To call for action at the ballot box. No violence on our streets. That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box.
Battle box!
No, that's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets.
At the battle box!
The power to change America should always rest in the hands of the people, not in the hands of a would-be assassin. You know, the path forward through the competing visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence. You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it. What's made America so special? Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor. Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division to shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of all goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this. You know, from the beginning, our founders understood the power of passion. So they created a democracy that gave reason and balance a chance to prevail over brute force. That's the American we must be. An American democracy where arguments are made in good faith. An American democracy where the rule of law is respected. An American democracy where decency, dignity, fair play aren't just quaint notions, but living, breathing realities. We owe that to those who come before us, to those who gave their lives for this country. We owe that to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren. Look, let's never lose sight of who we are.
It's live, it's not a recording.
Let's
he wouldn't flub this hard if it was a pre-recorded one.
There is nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Bro said battle. Oh my God, he said battle. He said battle box.
He smirked like he nailed that too.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing,
and that's the only thing people are going to remember from that is battle box.
Of course. And he also said former Trump. So previous reporting on the fact that this was pre-recorded was untrue. Immediately, people retracted that statement. It was clearly not pre-recorded. If it was pre-recorded, they would not have allowed this to air. They would have recorded it again. Perhaps it should have been pre-recorded instead of been live, because holy sh, that was a disaster. Okay, he cannot sit through a teleprompter read that is approximately what, 3 minutes long. That was literally a 3-minute teleprompter. So that's insane. That's actually insane. Here's the thing. Before people say, oh my God, like I can see the teleprompter behind his head, they actually did not arrange his team from up. They did not arrange the teleprompter appropriately. Normally, you're supposed to line it up with the eyesight of the speaker. I know this because I did this professionally at the Young Turks. If you don't line it up directly with the eyesight of the speaker, because it's supposed to like sit in front of the camera box, usually, okay? And it rolls down, and there's another person controlling the teleprompter with the same speed that the speaker is speaking, okay? This requires a little bit of skill. It requires a little bit of expertise. It requires good timing. If it goes too fast and the person who is reading the teleprompter is not very good at reading the teleprompter because maybe their brain is leaking out of their goddamn ear, well, you know, so it's normal for them to use a teleprompter. All of those like direct addresses from the White House, actually, all of those direct addresses from the White House actually use a teleprompter. That's perfectly normal. Problem is, in this situation, you know, he just could not even read the prompter well enough.
Yeah, reading a prompter, I read a prompter for all Name Your Price shows, and I can tell you I'm really bad at it. And I'm about 56 years younger than Biden. And it's difficult, but I'm also not the president of the United States either. So if he can't do that, then I don't know what we're doing, really. To be honest, I really don't. I truly don't, and I can't really stay quiet anymore. I can't really stay quiet. I don't know what the f we're doing. This is literally our messaging.
He called me this morning in a state of panic. Like, he's like, what is going on right now? The Democratic Party is a clown show, and he's the Democratic Party's most loyal soldier.
Look, you literally have your voice of your party trying to articulate your agenda, and every time that voice speaks, people aren't listening to the agenda. They're listening to what is the next word he's going to flub, and then that becomes the headline. It is impossible to campaign and articulate and spread a message And you cannot have your surrogates do it for you. You cannot have your surrogates do it for you. When people don't care about your surrogates, your vice president, Barack Obama, you are at the top of the ticket. And if you can't articulate the message, perception is reality. Whether it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Overreacting, he did fine. Dude, people that are saying overreacting, he did fine. If Donald Trump had that moment, that would be the headline from BuzzFeed down to every single liberal media outlet. This tweeted Kofefe one time, and that drove the news cycle for a week. Okay, look, that drove the news cycle for a week. I bet my soul no headline on mainstream media will say battle box. Yeah, you want to know why they won't say that? Because Donald Trump was victim to an attempted assassination. So yes, it's old news that Brandon is flubbing. But for those who are watching, to listen to Joe Biden, Austin is absolutely correct. They're not watching to hear what kind of unifying message he puts out. His supporters are watching to see if he is going to be coherent because they love him and they want him to pull through. And his detractors, the people who criticize him, are watching specifically to hear him flub. And he still kept flubbing. That's a normal stutter flub. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. That is a teleprompter he's reading, dumbass. He's not having a normal conversation.
And this also doesn't happen. This happens all the time.
Like, I can't
if
believe.
It was once in a while, it would be fine. Every speech, it happens.
I can't believe he's still going with a stutter.
The thing is, the Democratic Party has a real problem because they're losing people like me. And even my mom. My mom is 60, in her 60s, so is my dad, and they're losing those Democrats. In terms of, yeah, they're still going to vote for him. I'm still going to vote for him. I'd vote for a dead body over Donald Trump. I would vote for anything over Donald Trump. I'm still going to vote for him. Yes, but that's not the issue. When your base looks at it, okay, when your base looks at this and you're losing the confidence of your base, that's not where elections are won and lost. They're won between party lines on independence and by slim margins.
You're talking to two people right now. One person who's not going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what. One person who's going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what. And both people are saying the exact same thing because we're not talking about ourselves. We're talking about the broader electorate. We're talking about people in the margins. People who are like, I don't really care about what the fuck's going on. Okay? Those people are not going to vote for the cadaver. They've demonstrated that they're not going to vote for the cadaver.
Yes.
Okay?
And people, Americans are, when will they understand that Americans are complacent? They are short-sighted, complacent. They look at the economy. They don't care about anything else. So when you shake the fact that there's going to be some sort of fascism, first of all, most Americans don't even know what that means. And we are so complacent as a society. We don't think it could happen to us. We don't think it could happen to us. Nobody truly believes that it could happen to us. So that narrative, when you got Joe, who can't string a few words together, they're going to take the guy that they remember all the stimulus checks 3 or 4 years ago because everything looks better in the past, and people are romanticizing COVID. They're going to vote for that guy. Because that's what they remember. They think positively of that guy because they're looking at this guy for a teleprompter every week.
Now, that's also not entirely correct because there's one way, and the Democratic Party knows this, there's one way to remind people of how bad Donald Trump
Release
is.
Another pandemic.
And how bad they felt under Donald Trump. And that is by having someone who is otherwise inoffensive and regularly competent, basically just above average in performance, step into the fray as the leader of the Democratic Party so that people can focus on Trump's insane rhetoric.
Thank you. We can't focus on his rhetoric. He's getting a free pass because nobody can listen to what Joe Biden is saying because they don't care. They just want to see him flip his speech.
Who then is on his stepping? Dude, Kamala Harris is literally the vice president. What are you talking about? People act like she's just not there. People act like I've not brought her name up multiple times. It is such a quick swap that it could happen so swiftly that you wouldn't even think about it for more than a week. And the hilarity is like these people just refuse to hear that, okay? They act like people aren't saying that. They act like people aren't saying it's Kamala Harris. It's so stupid. I don't understand.
And we talked
No,
about
Kamala
this.
is not worse than Biden. Kamala is, again, at least somewhat competent. Okay? It entirely depends on what she says, what she does, how this swap would potentially occur if it were to occur. And you guys are just simply operating on, no, she's a black woman, she's not gonna win. Okay? The bar is low right now for Joe Biden. It's a 49-51 race currently. Okay,
in the national poll,
that means that anyone that can bring even 10 more voters, 20 more voters, 1,000 more voters in key districts would potentially be able to see election. Okay, and Kamala Harris is marginally better than Joseph Robinette Biden. Currently, internal polling that the Democrats themselves are running shows that Kamala Harris has actually started to beat Donald Trump in the fucking polls.
And you know what kills me is that the Democrats are celebrating that Joe Biden has a 51-49 lead in the national poll, a poll that the national poll, the popular vote, a Republican has not won in 20 fucking years. They haven't won the popular vote in like 20 years.
Democrats, because of the electoral college,
yeah.
Democrats have to win by at least 3 points, at least minimum 3 to 5 points in the national polls to be able to win the election.
Yes. And it's not and if we look at the polls
it's
from
not
last
51-49 lead in the vote share, it's 51-49 lead in chances of winning. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, whatever. Fuck it. I don't know what I'm
It's still no, but it still doesn't matter because that is also pre-shooting of Donald Trump. We're not even talking about post-shooting of Donald Trump. And the fact that post-shooting of Donald Trump polls are probably going to be a little bit different because he just won a massive amount of sympathy.
It's so fucking frustrating. It's so